Okay, welcome. Let's just talk about troubleshooting for a minute. So you got some issues going on, you have a user calls and maybe they're, like, hey, I don't know what's going on, my machine's acting really weird, it's running slow. And so you either remote in or more than likely probably go to them because you can't reach them. But when you get there, one of these things that I want to do first off to test their machine is I'm going to go here and I'm going to pull up a command prompt like this. And I just want to run ipconfig. And then right here, I can see that I do have an IP address, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, if I had, let's say the IP address was 169.254.3.56, right? That is what we call an APIPA address, or an automatic private IP address. And so that means I have a DHCP problem. I wasn't able to renew the lease and it had to have an IP address. But currently, I do have a valid IP address. So let's do some other testing, all right? So let's test our IP stack. So we're going to run ping, and I want to do 127.0.0.1, which is my loop back. This is going to test my IP stack. Now, of course, I'm getting a response because my machine is just fine, but I'm doing this for testing purposes to show you. So if there was a problem here, I definitely would have a problem with the network interface card, or what we call the NIC card. So now that I've done that, maybe, they're, not able to get somewhere. So I've tested this, right? The IP stack is good. Let's take a look at the gateway, right? So let's ping the gateway. And in my case, that address is 192.168.12.1. So we're going to ping that. And of course, I am getting responses. But if on this particular machine that I'm testing, if I did not get a response right here and told me like destination host unreachable, something like that, then I know immediately that I have a problem with the patch cable. So I'm going to, that's that cable that runs from your computer over to the wall plug. I'm going to replace that with a good one, right, a new one, and test again. And it, more than likely, then now I can get through. But what if they tell me that, hey, I don't know what's happening, my machine's just running really slow, and it just something weird, right? It's just hung up, it's running really slow, and I want to know why that's happening. Well, I would probably run this command, netstat. Then I could run it with different switches. I could just say -o, and that's going to give me, some information there. But I want, and so it's going to begin to run, okay? And that's going to be fairly slow. But what I'm looking for is this right here. These are public IP addresses, okay? So I want to know who that is. And so I'm going to do Control-C, and I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to pull up a web browser right here, and I want to type in who is. And then right here, I'm going to paste that IP address I just copied in here, and let's go see who that is. This happens to be somebody called New Relic. And I can run down who they are and what they are. I could test some other ones as well, right? So let's see who this is. That's Microsoft that we can see right here. And you're going to find a lot of these are going to be like Microsoft or a Kami or different things like that. There's a lot of things running in the background on your computer that are legitimate, these connections. But what I'm looking for is somebody I don't know. And I have to ask myself the question, Should they be connected? Probably not, right? So more than likely that is a backdoor and there's some type of malware that's causing me a problem, okay? I could also, let's just do Control-C and get out of that. I could do ARP-A, and I could go find out, you know, what these MAC addresses are. Currently, these are all, you know, private. I've got some multicast addresses going on. So that's going to give me my physical or MAC addresses that match up to, right, the IP addresses. Now, what if the user is able to reach the internet, but they are not able to, let's say, reach the file server that they need to get, you know, to and to get resources from internally? Well, in that situation, I would run a command like tracert. Now this is Microsoft specific. If you're on a Mac or you're on a Linux box, then the command would be traceroute. Okay, so I'm going to just pick an address. Let's say 192.168.12.24. I don't know that that's one actually running in my network, so it's probably going to time out. Yeah. But I could, let's see, let's go back. Let's see, we ran ARP-A. So I do have one here. So let's try that one. Let's do Control-C. And let's do traceroute, Control-V. And it took all of one up, right? So what we can do though, and what we're trying to accomplish here, is running this to figure out what interface is down, okay? I know the server's up, I know this machine's up, but somewhere between this machine and that file server, there's an interface down, okay? Or it's backed up and it's dropping traffic. But this would absolutely show me where that is. So to give you an example, let's do this again, and let's just do it by DNS, right? So let's just say we're gonna do Google, just to get an idea, see what's really happening here, right? So as you can see, it's tracing a route to Google, and it's gonna go find the nearest Google data center. And what's actually gonna happen is it's gonna stay inside of my ISP, right, through here. Now, you see one request timed out, and now it took a different path. That means that interface was backed up or whatever. But that's what I'm looking for by this. If it times out and just stops, and that doesn't go any further, doesn't find another path, then that's what I'm trying to find out. And to see where it gets to, right? And where I need to go directly to and fix the problem. So that's just a little bit about using, you know, some of these tools like this, like tracert and netstat and ARP, to try to figure out what's going on. Who am I connected to? What does it know? And, you know, just simple steps to take from the command line to try to figure out some of what's going on when we're troubleshooting. All right, well, appreciate it. Hope that helps you, and peace out.